Welcome everyone. As you know, with the outbreak of COVID-19, a lot of leaders around the world have been owning up the task and doing a phenomenal job. In the midst of all this, there are a few leaders who have been funny, insane, or outright stupid. And today, we bring to you top 3 funniest, stupidest leader during COVID-19. But before going there is an elephant in this room that must be addressed. It has been more than a month since I and most of you have been working from home. It's tough times and people are going insane. A live example, this is what happens when you do your own haircut during lockdown. So, you have been warned. This is a warning out there for everyone watching this not to try this stunt at home. Now, let's move on to the main topic for today. As all the sports events, travel, and other plans are being cancelled, few of the leaders rose to the occasion to entertain us with their stupidity. So, without much ado, let's straight away get to the list of top 3. Number 3 on the list is none other than Boris Johnson. Boris Johnson is the Prime Minister of United Kingdom. For those of you who don't know him, he is the Donald Trump of United Kingdom. Let's look at the uncanny similarity between the two leaders. After having watched that, one thing for sure is common between them. That is, they go to the same hairdresser. Earlier last month, while the world was falling apart, this is what Boris Johnson had to say.
I'm shaking hands because I was at a hospital the other night where I think there were actually a few coronavirus patients, and I shook hands with everybody. You'll be pleased to know, and I continue to shake hands. And I think it's very important that people obviously can make up their own minds. I think Matt has said that people must make up their own minds, but I think the scientific evidence is, well, I'll hand over to the experts. But our judgment is.
Just look at the dismay of Johnson's babysitter, who had to interrupt and add, at least wash your hands. This incident reminded me of Fauci's now famous facepalm moment.
Because you know what I'd like to do? I'd like him to go back to the State Department, or as they call it, the Deep State Department, if you don't mind. I'd like to have him go back and do his job. So does anybody have any question? Please.
And what UK's Prime Minister said was wrong on so many levels. Firstly, why the fuck would you shake hands when the world around is urging you to maintain social distance? Second, of all the places on earth, how stupid would you be to do it in a hospital? Not only you are at a higher risk of getting the virus, which at this point I don't care because you're stupid, but also there are few very vulnerable people who might be at risk because of your stupidity. And last but not the least, why would anyone be pleased to know that you are stupid? So the karma caught up with Boris Johnson pretty soon, and he was tested positive for coronavirus.
Hi folks, I want to bring you up to speed with something that's happening today, which is that I've developed mild symptoms of the coronavirus.
Thankfully, Boris Johnson has recovered, and hopefully he has realized that Namaste is the new handshake. And most importantly, one thing that you must take away from this episode is, if you're stupid, there's no point bragging about it. Now, let's move on to number 2. On number 2 of the list, we have the leader of the largest democracy in the world, India. And the leader is Narendra Modi. This is what Modi said during COVID-19 outbreak.
रविवार को शाम को 5 बजे 5 मिनट तक ऐसे लोगों का आभार व्यक्त करें। और आभार कैसे व्यक्त करेंगे? ताली बजा करके, थाली बजा करके, घंटी बजा करके।
In this particular instance, Modi asked the citizens of India to observe a self-imposed lockdown on a particular Sunday during the day, and then in the evening to clap or ring bells or bang utensils, etc., to appreciate the efforts of essential workers such as doctors, etc. Well, the idea in itself was good. He and his own party did not practice what they preached. On the day when the supposed lockdown was scheduled, this is how one of the party offices looked like. Also, many of his supporters decided to celebrate the success of lockdown during the day by taking to streets in huge numbers during the evening, and thus defeating the entire purpose of lockdown. Now, moving on from Boris Johnson to Narendra Modi to the next one, there's no prize for guessing who is the most stupid and funny leader in the entire universe. You guessed it right. It's none other than Donald Trump. Trump has proved time and again why he is the best at what he does: stupidity. Look at what the famous doctor and scientist, Dr. Trump, had to say this week.
Supposing we hit the body with a tremendous, whether it's ultraviolet or just very powerful light, and I think you said that hasn't been checked, but you're going to test it. And then I said, supposing you brought the light inside the body, which you can do either through the skin or in some other way. And I think you said you're going to test that too. Sounds interesting. Right, and then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute, 1 minute. And is there a way we can do something like that by injection inside or almost a cleaning? Because you see it gets on the lungs and it does a tremendous number of the lungs. So it'd be interesting to check that. So that you're going to have to use medical doctors with. But it sounds interesting to me. I would like you to speak to the medical doctors to see if there's any way that you can apply light and heat to cure. You know, if you could, and maybe you can, maybe you can't. Again, I say maybe you can, maybe you can't. I'm not a doctor, but I'm like a person that has a good, you know what.
Mr. Trump or Dr. Trump suggested that if you digest or ingest disinfectant into your body, it can help kill the virus, as disinfectants kill the virus from the tabletop. And people unfairly criticize Trump and his comments. I believe that Trump is correct for the first time in his entire life. If you ingest the disinfectant, you surely kill the virus and you kill yourself. Once you are dead, you are safe from coronavirus. It is amusing that Lysol had to come up and clarify to its customers not to drink or ingest Lysol disinfectants. That's all for today. Stay tuned for more videos.